security, which Donald Trump has made the centerpiece of his campaign.
We will build a great wall along the southern border.
But there already is a wall running along hundreds of miles of the border, including the Rio Grande Valley. And as Daniel Hernandez reports, for the Texans who actually live along the border, the wall isn't all it's cracked up to be.
The Rio Grande Valley has been at the center of a massive effort to secure the border for the last decade, including the building of a wall. But even members of the Border Patrol Union, which has endorsed presidential candidate Donald Trump, have mixed feelings about its effectiveness.
We came with his 18-foot wall, and the very next day they had 19-foot ladders. It got to the point where we had so many ladders, they told us to stop bringing the ladders in. Some of these guys have learned to climb the wall without the use of a ladder. That's some like American Ninja Warrior. I mean, that's some crazy stuff, the way they get over that.
Considering that, does the wall work?
No. In and of itself, nothing's going to be a standalone, a complete stopgap measure. It's not going to work.
The price tag for the existing fence, which was built under the Secure Fence Act of 2006, was around $6 billion, with costs running anywhere from $400,000 to $15.1 million per mile. The estimated cost of building Trump's proposed wall along the entire border could run up to $25 billion or more. At the beginning of a 10-mile gap just outside of Hidalgo, Texas, we find a group of migrants, mostly women and children, that were just apprehended by the Border Patrol. After their belts and shoelaces are removed, the migrants are then patted down and searched by the agents. Then they're moved into a van to be processed at a nearby Border Patrol station.
We're only catching about 40-50% of what's coming across this border. We have so many people coming in, we can't keep track of them, we can't cover our entire area.
Beyond failing to stop migrants and drugs, the wall has created a strange situation for people who live along this stretch of the border. A treaty with Mexico and the winding path of the Rio Grande prevented the U.S. from building the wall directly along the river in many parts of Texas. The wall is more than a mile north of the actual border in some places, leaving some Americans along the river trapped in a no-man's land south of the wall. 88-year-old Pamela Taylor, who lives near Brownsville, can see the wall from her front porch.
When did this whole situation start really affecting your home and your property?
2007.
So you were basically told that the fence would be built north of your house,
yes,
leaving you where?
On the Mexican side.
But in U.S. territory?
Yes. My son-in-law said we live in a gated community.
The fence, Taylor says, created a funnel effect, where her property is now a runway for migrants and smugglers looking to get across the border. These days, there are so many people crossing Taylor's land, she decided to leave out coolers filled with water and soft drinks.
We must have had an influx last night because it was nearly empty this morning.
Okay.
And I filled it up around 4 o'clock in the evening.
I see.
And there was only about 4 or 5 left. I don't agree what is going on with the illegals coming over, but you have to have compassion.
Taylor isn't the only person stuck in this no man's land. Eloisa Tamez's home sits on the U.S. side of the border wall, but most of her 3 acres of property do not.
It is not good rationale to say that we don't think that the first wall helped, so let's build another one. No. And take my land again? They're going to come and put another wall there? Do you think that I'm going to sit quiet with that? It wasn't the first time, and I'm not going to be the second time. The only thing working against me is that I'm getting old.
To get to her land, Tamez has to drive nearly a mile, and then use a special key code to open a gate in the wall.
Why do I feel incarcerated and locked up in my own land? I don't have the freedom to walk in my land, and I'm living in the land of the free. How about that?
As early as 2009, a congressional review raised questions about the effectiveness of the wall effort. There was strong indication, it said, that illegal immigrants reroute around the barriers or simply breach the fence in other ways. With all the evidence pointing to a bad idea, why does talk of a wall still resonate?
Something needs to be done. What we've been doing is just not working. I think the wall, it sounds good, it sounds like a plan, but there's other solutions out there.